Hey, what's up guys? It's Spectrum back here with a brand new video, and this isn't my typical video, but this is going to be my 100 subscriber special video. Since it is only 100 subscribers, I felt like it wasn't, this wasn't too inappropriate of a video to make, and we're going to be talking about Mafex as a company in general today. As you can see, you have all of my Mafex figures in front of you, from left to right. And, yeah, this is just a video about my opinion on the company as a whole. And let's dive right into it. First of all, this is my favorite toy company. Most of what you're seeing here are my favorite toys in my entire collection. You know, I love Mafex, I love their sculpt, I love their detailing. Like, just take this Aquaman for instance, dude. Look at how nicely sculpted this figure is, and just look at the likeness to Jason Momoa. That is just amazing in my personal opinion. I don't have the 2.0 version yet, but I probably will get him when I can. And we're looking at their very first figure right here, dude. Like, look at how, just look at this. This is incredible. They did this with $30. Now, you got a little bit of paint rubbing off right there, which is an issue. This is their very first figure, though, and they used a rubber piece for the chest. But just look at all the sculpting work and just everything. The only real QC issue, or not QC issue, the only real thing wrong with the figure is how big the hips are. But even, you know, that adds to posability, so it's really not that bad of a trade-off. And then, you know, you just take a look at their Iron Spider, which is the closest thing to the screen in terms of 6-inch scaling. And my mind, this is something to behold. Now, if your waddles didn't break, then this is probably one of your best figures in your entire collection. You know, he's not really floppy at all. He has a slightly loose ball hinge in the neck, but that's it. Like, everything else is really solid, and he just holds together really, really well, just as a figure overall. I love this figure. Next up is one of my favorites as well, is Wonder Woman. Now, she has a slight QC issue. As you can see right here, there's a little bit of paint rub right here and on this side of her leg, right there. But I can overlook that, and I can easily get rid of that with a marker or something if I really wanted to. But yeah, just look at that face sculpt and the makeup and just everything. Oh my god, that looks a lot more like Gal Gadot than people give credit for, in my personal opinion. That looks a lot like her. And then you have the perfect colors for the outfit and just the shield. Look at the sculpt work in there. And then you have the sculpting on the inside too. This is why I love Mafex, because they kill it with their sculpt work like almost every single time. And obviously, let's get a look at everyone's real masterpiece, Cyborg from Justice League. This looks exactly like Cyborg was portrayed on the big screen. Just look at this. This is a thing to behold. This is gorgeous. My only complaint is the wires coming out of the legs and arms, but otherwise, this thing is beautiful. You got the Cyborg booty. This is kind of like a re-review of all my Mafex figures, and I'm sorry for that, but I just thought I would have a good day and gush over my favorite figures with you guys for my 100th subscriber special, man. Now, you know, Mafex isn't always all fun and games, and I'm going to get into that. But I just also want to talk about their Joker real quick. Like, no one gives this figure credit at all, and it's really saddening because this is an excellent Leto representation of the Joker. You know, you got the tattoos on the hands. Just look at that. That is incredible. You don't see detailing like that anymore, man. That is just so good. This is why Mafex is my favorite company, because they remind me of old school Toy Biz and just old school Hasbro and stuff, man. Just look at how accurate that is. Obviously, his arms pop out a little bit, you know, but this is also one of the best Mafex figures that I own. Like, when I first got him, his waist was a little loose, and it still kind of is. But that's, like, my only issue with this figure, is a loose waist. And he doesn't stand properly sometimes, but that's because the feet are so well sculpted in general. Now, just because it's my favorite company doesn't mean I can't see what's wrong with the figures. Let's get into it. Okay. Let's take this guy for example. One of my favorite Mafex figures. I do like him a lot. But look at the color difference between here and his head, right? Like, and his head was faded pink before I colored it with a permanent marker. You guys have saw my video on that. You can see it right there. Looks very, very nice in general. But the biggest issue with this guy is this right here. The fading issue, man. That is almost white. That is nearly white. Pink and then white because I use metallic paint. As you can see, I colored over his abdomen and stuff like that. I've been touching him up here and there, but mainly his hands and stuff. Also, his shoulders are a bit floppy, and my first copy of this figure had really severely loose legs, and that was really, really bad. You know, so like Mafex isn't always perfect. Sometimes their figures aren't home runs, but this guy is still a solid release. I do believe, in my personal opinion. My first copy of this figure had broken legs, but that was because of me. I didn't know how to use super glue properly, and I broke them off because I was inexperienced as a in terms of taking care of my toys. Also, I feel like my least favorite figure in my Mafex collection, even though I love this figure, is probably my Flash, simply because of all this right here. I don't like that. It's really floppy, and I've tried multiple times to use hardening nail polish. I've used super glue. It just doesn't work. Like, I don't know why or how. I've even switched the ball joints around. I did everything that I can think of. I might go back and apply more super glue to the joints later when I have more super glue to do it with, but this is an example of how bad Mafex can be. You know, but just look at how gorgeous the figure is. Like, it looks almost exactly like the Flash did in Justice League, even in terms of a face sculpt, man. That is Ezra Miller. Now, the only inaccuracy that I found is because these are separate pieces, they're not completely screen accurate in terms of the placement on the body. They're supposed to be, okay, so let me pop it off real quick. They're supposed to be something like that along the body, right? They're not supposed to be up on the shoulder as high as they are. They're supposed to be a bit more angular in terms of the placement on the body. But, I mean, otherwise, this figure is gorgeous, and he does stand pretty decently. And there goes my two Spider-Man figures. And he is just a lot of fun to pose, I'll be honest. It was fun doing his pose gallery. My playlist for all my Mafex figures and their pose galleries will be in the description below. So please check that out, and thank you very much. But yeah, just look at how shiny. The suit was shiny in the movie, too. This figure is just so beautiful, but it sucks because it has loose joints in the abdominal section, which is it's a big setback for the figure, in my personal opinion. Alright, let's see here. Let's talk about one of their most solid, if not their best releases, as far as I own anyway. They're freaking Superman, dude. Look at this. Look at the flesh tone. Look at the face sculpt. That is Henry Cavill in 6-inch form, man. That is Henry. And just, the joints are nice and tight. There's nothing wrong with the sculpt. Now, in terms of, the only thing that's wrong with my figure is that this side of the chest is slightly cut off more than this side, which means that this arm sticks out more than this arm does, but I can easily overlook that, especially when he's posed. Look at how far back he crunches. He has a lot of great articulation. He has a lot of great sculpting work and paint, and he's killing my other Mafex figures because he is the fucking Superman. And the only other thing that was wrong with him out of package was his hips were super tight. But otherwise, this thing is my definitive Superman in my collection. And he's my only Superman, by the way. Like, this is the only one that you need. This is it. The Mafex Superman. Alright. Finally. Let's go ahead. Or, actually, let's talk about the Homecoming Spider-Man first. There goes Batman. Alright, so, looking at this guy, first glance, he looks a little scrawny-ish, right? He looks a little inaccurate to the screen. But in terms of his legs, that is completely accurate to the movie. I've watched the movie numerous times. Homecoming is one of my favorite Spider-Man films, if not one of my favorite films. And he does have chicken legs in the movie. Like, I don't know, like, I've heard that Tom reruns for fun, but apparently he doesn't tone up his calves very much overall. But yeah, he's mostly like this in terms of proportions in the movie. But he still looks a little weird vanilla posed. Is it just me, or does he look weird standing there like that? I don't know. Like, there's just something off about it. I mean, obviously it's a 6-inch figure, so his proportions aren't going to be completely perfect. So that might be what's off about it. One of my only qualms about this figure is the gap in the back here. That's literally it. Otherwise, this thing is awesome, and I love posing him around. Also, the striping on here is uneven as well. But, you know, those are all minor things. Setting him to the side, let's talk about the motherfucking Batman. This has always been one of my favorite figures in my whole collection. I've always posed him around nonstop, and his joints are still good to go. There is nothing loose about this figure. You know, you can pose him around and he'll hold the pose, kick his legs up. They'll freaking stay there. Like, this is one of their most solid releases that they've ever done. Like, that is just phenomenal that he can hold that pose. The only qualm with it is his cape doesn't have a wire, but at the same time, it makes for a better looking cape, I think. You know, that looks better as a cape overall. So yeah, and if I, you know, ever want a wired cape, I can always go and get a third-party cape and put that on my Batman, and then set this one off to the side, or just throw it away. But I kind of like having him like he is, because I don't know, this cape's easier to manage, I think. But, yeah. Oh, man, that was a lot. 11-minute video about my fix figures. Which one's my favorite? I'm going to tell you right now. It's probably this guy. Like, so far. I'm looking at the Mafex Comic Spidey right now, and that's probably going to be my next pickup in terms of an action figure. But this one, or the Iron Spider. I don't know. Like, these two are just... Oh man, I wish toy companies made toys this good nowadays, like they used to. Like I said, old school Toy Biz and old school Hasbro, man. Like, this is what this reminds me of. These are just so fucking beautiful, man. Also, I could throw Batman in there too as one of my favorites as well. I do like that Batman a lot. But yeah, these two are my two favorite Mafex figures, I think. But, yeah. So, this has been a sort of retrospective on my Mafex figures and my opinions on the company. They are my favorite toy company because they have so much sculpted detail and line work and just such good proportions. Even in their older figures, like I said, the hip problem is a problem. But, like, just ignoring that, just covering that up with your thumb. Look at this figure. Doesn't it look beautiful in your hands? Like, it looks so good. And the hips aren't even that bad, to be honest. But, yeah. That has been my 100 subscriber special. If you're a Mafex fan, then this figure, or this video was especially, you know, enjoyable for you. But if you're not, and you're still watching, I appreciate that too. Thank you so much for being a part of my community and just a part of me. Thank you for getting me this far on YouTube, and thank you for being there with me every step of the way if you were there from day one. Obviously, a lot of you weren't, but that's okay because you've been with me long enough. This is Spectrum, and I'm rolling out. Check out my Facebook. Link will be in the description below. And follow me on Instagram at Spectrum.reviews, and I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Peace! Oh, so you thought that was all I was going to do for my 100 subscriber special? Nah, no frickin' way. Okay, so take a look and behold the art you are about to witness. 1 minute and 24 seconds of pure, unadulterated cinema. Here we go.
Alright people, today we are playing Transformers Revenge of the Fallen on the Xbox 360. Hold on a sec, I'll turn the light on so you can see that. There we go, right there you can see my Xbox. There's all the games that are on.
Let me do full screen.
Right now is obviously this one, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. Second one I own is Transformers Dark of the Moon. The third one I own is Naruto Ultimate Ninja Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 2. And we are about to play Ironhide. Hold on. That's better.
Ah, yes, these directorial images are so beautiful.
I'm sorry guys, but I can't But I can't record the gameplay right now, so thanks for watching.
Alright, give me a sec while I find another one. Alright, this one's a lot longer, but this is one of my first ever reviews in history. This is from like 2012, almost 8 years ago. Let's get into it.
Okay, here goes the video review for the Transformers Prime Cyberverse Commander World Series Commander Class Optimus Prime. Alright, as you can see, we have the packaging right here, which I'll just put this in the shade because it'll look better. Up top you got EZ level 1, ages 5 and up. Got numbers and
Yes. Let me just turn this down a bit. Alright.
Hold on a sec. Anyway, as I was saying, on the top you got all the code numbers and the code words. Right here you have Transformers Prime, choking hazard warning symbol.
Alright, let's scoop through this a little bit. This is a 20-minute video.
Today is my birthday, and so yeah.
Let's go 5 minutes in.
It looks way too bright out here. And anyway, yeah, you got is 2 battle cannons on the top, aka ion blasters. You can just take those right off if you so choose. You can just two beside the hood.
Alright, I'll be right back with another one. Are you guys ready for groundbreaking, revolutionary cinema? Well, here you go. 1 minute and 2 seconds of pure gold.
Good. Tell me if you can see me. Can you see me a little bit? Alright, today we're playing the game Spy. Okay. And you gotta look at me. Now you gotta come with me. Come on. Go. Look at me. Look at my face.
I just turned it up a bit. Oh man, that was it? Where's the sequel, you ask? Well, give me just 1 sec. Alright, here is the groundbreaking sequel to that piece of cinematic gold you just witnessed. This one's a little bit longer and a little bit louder,
today
so...
we're playing the Spy game again. Alright.
Hell yeah, it was, bitch.
Go!
Sorry if it's really loud to your ears. This is a cheap-ass microphone that I was recording on.
Go. Alright, sorry about that, people. That's my cousin getting crossed by Ariel. That's my uncle.
You couldn't even see him.
Come on, Junior. Junior! Yeah, dance. Do it more. Do more, dude. Ariel, you stay out of it. Ariel, stop.
I'm going to jail. See ya.
Actually, it's the other way around. She's being made to us. Be nice, Ariel. Or I shall terminate you. Okay, this is not going as planned, so bye-bye.
Alrighty guys, hope you enjoyed that, and happy 100 subscriber special. Peace.